Welcome back. Another year of the conversation, the 5th year we've had this discussion, and we always talk about different topics. This year, two vastly different topics, I would think, but we had the change makers and then maternal health as well.
Yeah, you took a little trip to Paris this year, so that gave Cierra and I a chance to talk about issues that women specifically face and how that can look so vastly different. And it was really cool to be able to also talk about some of our personal experiences and to be able to relate to some of the discussion that we were talking about, because it's easy for people to just watch and for you to tell them. But when you share in that experience with them, it really does become a conversation.
With the phenomenal program that Dr. Ireland has started and we've all collaborated on together over the years, I mean, there's great evidence that we've published showing improved patient outcomes. And so with the kind of standardization and collaboration that we've done, we've shown that we can decrease the rate of blood transfusion by 50% and decrease the 33% decreased risk of blood loss and obviously decreased risk of ICU stay. So these programs make a difference in patients' lives.
And we both know that there are so many people going through so many similar things, and to have that conversation, it really makes it just a little more relatable.
When it comes to the change makers that we did back in January, it was fascinating to hear just the different ways that different people in the community are finding ways to help make our community better, you know, especially when it comes to issues that involve Black people and the advancement of Black people, and none more than the NAACP, right? Nana Watson's been in charge of that organization and championing that organization for so many years, and just having the opportunity to talk with her about their advocacy and all the work they've been doing for decades, not just in Central Ohio, but obviously all around the country. It was really inspiring to make you think that just a little bit of fight, a little bit of effort, and then obviously a lot of grit that she has can really make a difference.
Our advocacy in trying to collaborate has proven that it can be done. You just got to keep pushing, keep pushing. It's got to be the thorn in somebody's side. And sometimes we are the thorn. It takes time, commitment, and you have to have a commitment. And I want young people to come and take this baton and just continue our work. So when I'm laid to rest, I can say, okay, they got it, and I can just go on to sleep. I can rest in peace.
And I really appreciated with the Changemakers edition that we were able to talk with Black Girls Rising and Sister Fran, who became a really close friend of mine, really starting young, right? And that's kind of what we talk about is sometimes as a Black community, we allow these issues to be an issue for a long time, and then we start to discuss it when it's almost too late or when it becomes too big of a problem. And so the fact that they are taking these young girls, these teenage girls, and addressing these issues head on at such a young age, it was really incredible to see that. And then to be welcomed into that sisterhood. I think about the illustration of the pearl and how she mentioned that that's something that they really hold on to, that you know, the process of creating the pearl is going through trauma or difficulties, but that something beautiful can come out of being resilient. So that was a really special moment for me.
You are formally a member of Black Girl Think Tank.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Oh, that is wonderful, thank you.
You made a lot of pearls with your life to get where you are. I know you did.
And then speaking with Jatu Boykai, she's a doula, and she saw an issue, and she wanted to find a way to help alleviate that issue. So she brings together women from all walks of life that help work as doulas for other women in all walks of life, and just really informing them and empowering them and just really helping to be their advocate in a really life-changing moment. So it was just really cool to sit down with her.
When it comes to Black women specifically and women of color, a doula is an advocate. That is what Black women need in the birthing space. We have seen that doulas decrease labor times, they decrease the rates of C-sections, they decrease overall complications, and increase overall positive outcomes for moms and babies.
And I love that I was able to sit down with her as well.
Full circle.
Full circle. She was part of that big roundtable I had about Black maternal health and how the city of Columbus is really working to address that problem. We had, I think, about an hour-long conversation. We only got to show a little snippet of it, but it was something that we all just felt so passionate about, bringing in some city lawmakers and public health officials, talking about what's being done to address it, how far we've come, and how far we still have to go.
I think conversations like this are important because you can't address something that you don't discuss. And having the dialogue, I think, is a huge step. And many folks see that as inaction. But really, we have to have a dialogue around this because it is not a silver bullet. It is a system that we're talking about, and it's a holistic approach that we have to address when trying to tackle it.
Yeah, it's remarkable to think what we've been able to cover in 5 years. We've tackled everything from social justice issues, education, family planning, everything that you can think of under the sun. And yet there's still more conversation to be had in the next 5 years.
And it's incredible to think that the conversation started out of a moment of trauma, turmoil in our country with the death of George Floyd, and how much that really kind of initiated the conversation and then led us to different topics, like you mentioned, that have been issues for a really long time, but we never had that place or that safe place, I guess you could say, to really open up, have those conversations and welcome others in, and to see how the communities responded to that and kind of let us know what they want to hear about. And we've been able to tackle that. And like you mentioned, I think there's only more to be done and so much more that we can do.
And then coming in after it's been started and kind of watching from a distance to see how things have gone, it's been really cool to be part of it and tell the stories of the folks that we may know, but that some other folks in our community may not know. So it's really been cool, and there's thousands of stories we can tell.
Yeah, and we always welcome you into the conversation. So let us know what we should cover next, what we should be talking about, what you're talking about at your dinner table, in your church, at your workplace, whatever it may be. Always get in touch with us and let us know, and then we'll hopefully tackle it right here on NBC4. Carrie and Colleen, back to you.
Thanks, Matt. When we come back, we'll share stories of service, sacrifice, and strength.